All right, I think we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going out there on the internet? I hope you're enjoying your Saturday night. Here I am on mine. Hopefully the feed and the audio quality are coming through good. Um, Not a whole lot to talk about, but it is the 7-year anniversary of Man of Steel this weekend. Um, there's an awesome watch party going on tomorrow. I believe it's on Twitch. All proceeds that are donated are going to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. It's Zack Snyder's cause. South Cali guy in the house. How's it going, man? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Eric Patterson, what's up? How you guys doing? Um, yeah, so I really wanted to get into Man of Steel, and if you guys have any thoughts about the film, anything you want to talk about, leave it down below in the comment section in the live chat, and we'll talk about it. But anytime like I can talk about Man of Steel, I want to talk about it. To me, it's Man of Steel is my favorite movie in the DCEU. I like it. It's like a fine wine. It just gets better as it gets older. Um, Andy, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. First time viewer. For some reason, the live chat is not showing up on StreamYard for me. One sec. Hold, please. Hang on. Sorry, guys. It's trying to get it so that I can pull up the live chat on StreamYard here and feature your comments. Can we see Zack Snyder's Justice League trilogy? Man, I hope so. Like, as much as I want to see Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's just I can't help but think about like there's so much more possibly at stake with this thing. You know, it's just what this could lead to. Like that's the awesome thing about all of this. Do I feel Zack is coming back to do more than Justice League? I mean, again, I think it's a possibility. Do I don't know. It's like I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would say yes. I don't know. Maybe that's the opposite of what I should be saying. But man, I think it's a possibility, guys. I don't know. There's been talks and um, articles coming out like the last 2 weeks about, you know, is J.J. Abrams doing Superman? And then it's like, well, Warner Brothers has no plans to do a Superman movie with Henry Cavill. And it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what to believe at this point, but I'm going to choose to believe that there's something in the works. I think at first we'll see Henry pop up in the Black Adam movie with The Rock. I think that's the likely scenario that we're going to see play out. But in a couple of years, maybe 3 years or something like that, I think we will get a Superman sequel or Man of Steel 2 or whatever they're going to call this thing with Henry Cavill. And I think it's all sort of part of the negotiations with Henry Cavill coming back, like him being on that Zoom call was a big deal. And Henry Cavill's been the one guy um, that's been silent this whole time, since the whole release the Snyder Cut movement. He was the one person to pretty much not say anything really about it. Even when he was doing like his rounds for The Witcher, like his promotional tour or whatever that was, like he didn't really want to talk about it. And maybe he wasn't able to. I don't know. I'm not really sure how contracts work in Hollywood, but I don't know. I think there was something more along those lines that was going on with it. Let's see here. Walter Hamada and Peter Safran, Jeff Johns ruined everything. Yeah, yeah. Um, Now DC become Disney World. Andy, do you prefer a full feature film or a mini series for Justice League 2 and 3? I mean, as much as I love like big event television, like whether it's like Game of Thrones or I don't know, Breaking Bad, like these shows that I mean, even post Breaking Bad, like or The Mandalorian, like we're seeing a lot of money being thrown at television, like the last couple of years, where like before, like television was like they ran on really slim budgets. Like look at like Star Trek back in the day, or what they're even doing on like the CW with those superhero movies. I mean, I liked I think the first two seasons of The Flash, but after that, it's just like all these shows are pretty much the same. Um, I don't know. I want to see it as a movie. I'm fine with seeing it as like a mini series, I guess at first, but I want there to be that feature film that I can like go on HBO Max and play or whether it's seeing it in theaters. I want there to be a theatrical version because that's kind of just with these characters, and I don't know. I just want to see it. Um, I just want to see it as a theatrical kind of medium. But I'm not opposed to like a mini series. But I don't know. I just feel like cutting it up into like 4 or 5 chunks, especially with Zack Snyder's Justice League, being that, I mean, we don't really know how much footage we've seen of this thing, but at the same time, we kind of know how it is going to sort of play out. There'll definitely be like surprises and stuff, but that's kind of why I kind of stray away from the miniseries idea. Not that, I mean, I think they're totally going to do it, but um, we might get a lot more footage with it being a miniseries rather than just a feature film. But kind of like how they did The Hateful Eight on Netflix, where I think there's like 6 chapters or something like that you can watch. But there's also like the full like 3.5 hour movie on there too. So I think that's probably how they'll do Zack Snyder's Justice League. Let's see here. I want Zack Snyder's Justice League in 4K IMAX Blu-ray disc. Hey man, me too. And I did see something about I guess they're going to be doing it's going to be a different aspect ratio. Like the height of the frame will be like the full frame of your TV, but it's going to be like it'll be cut in a little bit on the sides. Where normally, you know, you get the widescreen, what is it? Like 235 to 1 or whatever that is. I don't really know aspect ratios too much, but I don't think you won't have the bars on the top, but you're going to have like a little bit on the left and the right. Not as much as like 4:3 like TV we used to watch in like the 90s and before that, but I think it'll be pulled in a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be the IMAX ratio that they shot the movie in, which is cool. Even like Aquaman, like if you watch like the 4K Blu-ray, when it goes into those like awesome like visual effects sequences where it's like just an awesome like action kind of set piece, like it'll have like the widescreen format, but then like it'll cut to like a full frame, which is cool. Like I wish most movies that were shot in IMAX would do that like on the physical Blu-ray disc. But that's not always the case. Let's see. Bring back Film Gob and Film Junkie. I've never been on their shows. They've never been on mine. I want Zack Snyder's Justice League season 2 and 3. Hey man, we all want it. Wonder Woman 84 is overhyped. I kind of agree about that. Like, I really enjoyed the first Wonder Woman movie, but like, there hasn't been that much about Wonder Woman 84 to get me super excited. And I mean, we haven't really seen a ton of stuff in the trailers, which is fine. But at the same time, I mean, Give me a little bit, you know, like we still haven't seen Cheetah. I don't know what's the big deal about why can't they just show us like a first, like throw out like an official photo of Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. I think that would be I don't know, something to get us hyped about, you know? But at the same time, it's like that character's gonna require a ton of visual effects. But I mean, the movie should have already been out by now. This movie's been delayed what? 3 times now? So, I don't know. Did you know Robert Pattinson toxic stands attacking every DC fan? I was not aware of that. Are we talking like the Twilight stands? Or I mean, like I like Robert Pattinson as an actor. I would say like the last couple of years, like the movies he's been in. Um, but I don't know. Eric Patterson, I don't want to see Cheetah until the movie. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I think Wonder Woman 84 is not good. That's why they changed the date. Yeah, there's this whole like, I don't know. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So this is from Screen Rant, but I think this came out like yesterday afternoon, but it's like all these movies, Warner Brothers like shifted dates. Like there was so much speculation that like Tenet wasn't going to make its release date, obviously due to COVID-19, but like for whatever reason, like Warner Brothers just did not want to move the thing. Like they moved movies that were coming out like in June and like like during the middle of this pandemic. But for whatever reason, they didn't want to move Tenet. I don't know. Maybe they thought theaters would be open by now, but it's not the case, man. It's been a long ass time since I've been to the movie theater. But with them moving Tenet, it was just like musical chairs, and it was just a domino effect of all these other movies being shifted around, which is a real bummer. But here we have Warner Brothers has announced release dates delays for 7 films, including Wonder Woman 1984, Matrix 4, and Tenet as a result of ongoing theater closures due to the coronavirus. Case with Christopher Nolan's Tenet. Oh, I skipped a line there. Due to the coronavirus, Warner Brothers' upcoming slate has been the subject of much discussion. This is especially the case with Christopher Nolan's Tenet, as it was poised to be the first high-profile movie to premiere once theaters reopen. However, last week it was revealed that Warner Brothers was reportedly planning on moving Tenet, but it was still trying to figure out a new date. Yeah, so it just total shuffle. And it just like Matrix 4 was moved to like 11 months. And I mean, I'm looking forward to Matrix 4. And I know I know Reloaded and Revolutions are not some people's cup of tea, but I'm excited to see Keanu back in the chair as Neo. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Wonder Woman will face more substantial delay from August 14th to October 2nd. So that's not too far away. Other films will be moved from 20 to 2021, including Godzilla vs. Kong from this November to May of next year. Tom and Jerry, I don't really care about that. Roald Dahl the Witches, don't care. Yeah, Matrix 4 from May of 2021 to April of 2022. Man, that's far away. But yeah, kind of a bummer. And where does Zack Snyder's Justice League fit in the mix with all of this? That's what I want to know. All right, let's get back to the chat here. Kind of bummed why this isn't showing up on StreamYard. Hang on a sec. Well, I might be screwed. Hmm. All right. We'll see if they pop up now. Maybe not. It's just a bummer. Sorry about that, guys. Just kind of a technical thing I'm kind of dealing with here. Just for whatever reason, it doesn't want to let me StreamYard doesn't want to let me feature comments on the video here. But it is what it is. We have to just make the best of what we got, right? Let's see here. Back into the chat. Let me get a little bit closer here. Why does why does Denis Villeneuve have Instagram? I didn't know he did have Instagram, but if that's the case, I'll have to follow him. Dune's another movie coming out later this year. I'm really looking forward to, and I'm glad that I didn't see that delayed on this list. I was kind of fearing that Dune was going to be like the next movie to be shuffled. Like they would push back Tenet and then put it in Dune's place, and then Dune would come out sometime next year. Let's see here. Am I going to the movies upon opening? I don't know if like I'll go like opening weekend, like the first weekend they reopen. I don't know. I kind of want to see how it all sort of plays out, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just wear like a raincoat with like gloves and a mask, and then I won't have to worry about anything. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, even like thinking about going to a restaurant, it's like it's almost this foreign experience. You're gonna like re-experience all these things for the first time again. I don't know. It's gonna be weird, that's for sure. You know, like sitting in these chairs that like people sit in all day. Like that's something I don't really think about when I go to the movie. Like especially like leather recliners now. It's weird. Eric Patterson, I'm excited for Matrix and Dune. Yeah, man, me too. In India, everything is opening soon, but not confirmed. Hey, you just got to be hopeful. You know, that's all we got at this point. I use Intel i3 processor. I actually use an i7. Eric Patterson, I have my hazmat suits. I'll have to look into it. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't be like ashamed walking into a theater with something like that. Not that I would do it, but it's like you see everybody else walking around with like masks and gloves and stuff like that. But I don't know. Zack Snyder's Justice League would be in April or May, not December. I would like to see it kind of like either like the first half of the year or like June at the latest, you know, but at the same time it's like I kind of want these guys to, you know, have as much time as they need to get this thing done and, you know, let us see it when they're ready to show it. But yeah, it's it'll be interesting like once they put out the first trailer or like teaser, whenever that's going to be. Like we've seen like people talking about like it possibly being put out like at San Diego Comic-Con, like this San Diego Comic-Con at home type thing. You know, I don't know. I don't really care when they put out the teaser, but I feel like they should maybe have like some sort of like release date. And I think that would get people really excited if it was like the first or second quarter of next year, like March or April, May, like that would be perfect. And I don't really remember like the release dates of like the DC movies next year. Things have just been like shuffled so much. It's just hard to remember. It's just constant like musical chairs. Like a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh yeah, Batman's coming out in October of next year now. It's just hard to keep track. South Cali guy, hope we get that trailer soon. I think we're getting it soon, man. I think in the next like month or something like that. Month or two. Fingers crossed. Let's hope so. But yeah, it's got to be in the near future. I mean, the amount of like momentum just announcing this thing gave AT&T and like HBO Max. I mean, putting out a trailer, it's going to be, it might be, I don't know if it'd be even more, but it's going to be pretty high up, like in comparison to that announcement, especially like if they give us some like dark side stuff and, you know, some stuff that we just haven't seen. But man, just tonally, like throw in like some Junkie XL music in the teaser, obviously, right? Um, I'm just excited to like see how tonally different this thing is, even from like the first Justice League teaser we got in like March of 2017. I think it was like end of March 2017. You know, just vastly tonally different from that, probably. Let's see. What do you think of the DC fandom event, August 22nd? I actually haven't looked into that much at all. I saw something about it, like it's kind of like DC's like, oh, where is that? Here it is. Let's see here. Okay. This is from batmannews.com. This is just like the first like news site that I saw in Google that was reporting it. All right. So according to a new report, Warner Brothers is going to be throwing a day-long party for all things DC in August. GWW, I've never heard of that. Is reporting, what is it, like Geeks Worldwide? That's just a guess. I've never heard of this. Is reporting that Warner Brothers is in the midst of planning a digital event that will be known as DC Fandom. The event is said to start at 10 a.m. Pacific on August 22nd and will be accessible for 24 hours. As to what we can expect to see, there'll be virtual panels from cast and creators of shows such as Titans, Doom Patrol, Stargirl. On the film side of things, we will see panels for the Batman, Black Adam, the Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman 1984. There will also be events and exclusive footage for comics and video games, so it will cover just about every aspect of DC fandom. I mean, that's kind of like their own little like D20, you know, like Disney does D23. This is just kind of like, I don't know, Warner Media or whatever, like their DC division. It's a cool concept. You know, I don't think like, as much as I look forward to like news coming out of Comic-Con, I don't know. It's just like so much stuff comes out. It's just like, well, the next thing just kind of like washes away what came before. Like the hype train, I guess, you know. I think it's probably a better business decision to do kind of your own thing like this. But I mean, if it's true, like I'm really looking forward to that. I had never heard of that before. I mean, I saw something on Twitter about it, but I just never really looked into it. Let's see here. I'm sure don't even look into it. It's probably a Jeff Johns of it. I'm certain that Zack Snyder will not be there. Zack Snyder would be on San Diego Comic-Con 2020 rather than that. Oh, that's funny. Jeff Johns, he did a, what was it? It was like a DC Universe kind of like, I don't know if it was just like an interview or what. I'm not subscribed to DC Universe anymore. They just didn't have enough to keep me around. Um, but I guess pretty much everybody was just typing in like comments regarding Zack Snyder's Justice League, like what happened during that fiasco. Like you turned that movie into Frankenstein's monster. But yeah, pretty much the whole thing he did was based on his Stargirl show, which from what I've read, it's a character and story kind of like, I don't know if it's like based on his sister who was a passenger on one of the planes that was hijacked in 9/11. So, I mean, I don't want to take that from the guy and throw shade with him talking about that, but I don't know. There's just a lot of bad blood still regarding what happened to that movie and how that all played out. So, I mean, I don't see fans kind of changing their tune about the guy anytime soon. You know, he's definitely not in fans' favor, I suppose. The DC fandom is probably for DC Universe app. Hey, they just announced that DC Daily, like their talk show, was canceled. And it was something like just the logistics of like the coronavirus and stuff like that. But it's like, were people really watching that show? I don't really think so. I mean, even when I had DC Universe, I was not watching that show. Yeah. But anything else you guys want to talk about? I kind of want to talk about Man of Steel, but you guys just throwing in so many good questions and topics like that. I wasn't sure how many people would tune in. But I was just watching Man of Steel like 2 hours ago. But man, that movie is so good. You know, just like the first 20 minutes with Russell Crowe on Krypton is just phenomenal. Let's see. No one was watching that show. Most of the DC haters on that show. That's true. Andy, do you think the air cut of Suicide Squad will gain enough steam to come out? I mean, I see stuff constantly on a daily basis, and with the amount of sharing David Ayer's doing right now, I think it's just a matter of time. Now, do I think like he's actually having negotiations with the studio? I'm not really sure. But I mean, is he just posting like random black and white images to just be kind of, is he just messing with us? Because, you know, Zach was the one who sort of started the trend of like putting all these images out, these like unreleased images from his cut in black and white. Is David Ayer just following suit? I mean, there's got to be some talks, I'd imagine. You know, David has come out publicly saying, you know, it would require some visual effects, but there's really not that much work that would need to go into it. So I think it just kind of comes down to like whether Warner Media or HBO Max, the people over there, whether they think like throwing more money at this thing will justify, like, I don't know, bringing in more subscribers, I guess. I'm not really sure, but I think it's just a matter of time. I think we will get that. And with his Suicide Squad, I think like it's just gonna feel like an entirely different movie. So I would love to see that. And as someone who like, I don't love Jared Leto's Joker, but I like it. And you know, there's a lot that Jared Leto gets so much criticism for his Joker. And like there's some cheesy dialogue, but at the same time, it's like I think people were just so attached to Heath Ledger's Joker. To see something different, I think people were just gonna bitch no matter what. But like I appreciate like just trying to do something totally different, like being this sort of like crime gangster version of the Joker rather than just kind of like another anarchist type. You know, even like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, like once he finally becomes the Joker at the end of the movie, he's more like Heath Ledger's Joker than anything, you know, just kind of like the style and I don't know. But I mean, they're still really different, but at the same time, like you can sort of see some similarities just like visually looking at these guys. Oh, let's see here. Today there's some charity Man of Steel 7 years watch party. Are you joining in? For me, that's tomorrow. So right now it's 10:37 p.m. Saturday night. But yeah, I think it's around like 2 o'clock Sunday. I don't know if that's my time or Pacific time. I'll have to look into it, but I'm gonna try. I don't think I'll be able to watch it live. You know, just too much stuff going on, like family wise for me to be able to sit down and watch it. But maybe I'll pop in here and there if possible. Um, Eric, Leto was cool to me. Yeah, I mean, so many people like they just I don't know. I like the first some of the first like photos they released of him. I think the first one was when he had his shirt off and he was like doing like a one of those faces. And that's when we saw like the damage tattoo and all like the chest and stomach tattoos. And I feel like that put off a lot of people right off from the get-go. And there were people that were already like leading up to Suicide Squad and Jared Leto being cast as the Joker. Like they were going to hate his Joker no matter what. You know what I mean? And it's probably like the same people that like, oh, I like I'm so pissed off that Heath Ledger's going to be the Joker, and that those people are the ones that are like Heath Ledger's the best Joker. Every other Joker is just sucks. Let's Jared Leto's Joker is more comic accurate than any other Joker in movies. I haven't I mean there's so much comic book material like that probably is the case, but like I can't definitively say that's true. But hey, I believe you. Uh yeah, time zone. Yeah, I'm in Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, it's just about 10:40 p.m. where I live. He only had 7 minutes of screen time. I couldn't make a decision on Leto. Hey, that's exactly the way I felt when I saw Suicide Squad. It's like there wasn't enough screen time, and like every other iteration of Joker, we've seen up against Batman. And in Suicide Squad, we only see Joker what he's being tailed in a car chase by Batman. That's what we see. I mean, I would love to see Jared Leto's Joker, you know, having a conversation with Ben Affleck's Batman. Um, you know, it's just something that, you know, we never got. Comic chat in the house. What's going up, Dan? What's going on, Danny? Things been going good for you? Maybe you can help me out with my StreamYard. For whatever reason, I can't pull up the live chat comments. It says YouTube doesn't support comments on private videos. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. See, I can show that one. The generic one doesn't make sense. Jared Leto is in Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think, in Nightmare Scene. I've heard that too. Not from anything like official, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe Zach did mention that, but I mean, I thought, doesn't Batman in his like revolver in the Nightmare Scene, he has like a card, right? Isn't it like a Joker card that he like gave him as like a peace offering or something like that? I thought that was somewhat what I had heard. I may be wrong, or maybe like Joker gave him the revolver. I don't remember all the details, but it was something like that. But hang on. Kind of a bummer that I can't get these comments. One sec. I'm going to pull out here real quick. I'm going to see if I can get this to allow me to put comments on the live chat here. So just bear with me for just a sec. Yep, not gonna work. I don't know, something with the way the broadcast was created or something like that. It's just not letting me. So I'll quit messing with it and save you guys from dealing with the technical sides of with this crap. Um, yes, it's a rifle, not pistol. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, it just I hope that they're able to incorporate just what obviously the nightmare sequence in BVS was, you know, it was foreshadowing the future, right? Now, from what we've kind of heard about the post BVS stuff with the post BVS stuff where like Warner Brothers made Zach and Chris Terrio like alter the shooting script, like leading up, like just before principal photography, like they wanted to change Justice League. So Zach kind of had to make a compromised version of Justice League. You know, he wasn't able to put everything in it that he wanted to. I just hope that they're able to kind of like go back to the original idea, you know, like I sure hope they're going to be like adding scenes, and like we've seen articles talking about like no, they're not going to be doing reshoots or additional photography, they're just going to be doing it like additional dialogue, like voiceover stuff. um that's my hope for this movie, is that like he's able to go back and, you know, and I think with it being Zack Snyder's Justice League, I feel like he's going to be able to like they're allowing him to do his vision of the movie. And I just hope it's not going to be like another compromised version of Justice League. I hope it's like what he wants to do. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Comic chat. I just think Leto's Joker is just strange. That's crazy saying it out loud. Just really hard to watch after Ledger and now Phoenix performance, kind of like having ribeye and T-bone, then going to hamburger. Oh, that's funny. Are you saying Jared Leto's Joker is a Happy Meal? Hey, I don't hate on anybody that doesn't like Jared Leto's Joker. Like, it's just an opinion about a movie. I think you know, we all need to kind of be able to let people think about movies and TV shows. Like, if they enjoy it, that's cool. If they don't, that's fine too. But like, you don't. It's not cool to like hate on somebody and like try and ruin their experience and their enjoyment of something. I think that's kind of a problem and a thing that happens often on the internet. They're saying that both Joker and Deathstroke are in the nightmare scene. Okay. That would be Joe Manganiello, right? I mean, there Joe Manganiello, like, I hope like the only thing he didn't like I want him to have filmed more than just that, like that post credit scene of him, like, and I think they said that they shot a scene where he was breaking Lex out of prison. And I'm really looking forward to all that too, but it's just such a bummer that you know, Affleck stepped away and we would have gotten his Batman movie with Deathstroke. I was so looking forward to that. But hey, I mean, there's kind of reports and rumors going on about like Affleck returning, and I would love that, man. He's my favorite Batman. Like, to me, it's just like the definitive version, at least on screen, you know? Comic chat, unless Leto's Joker and Batman are like they were in The Killing Joke, then that may be cool to see. Let's see here. Zack Snyder said that he shot 80% of that script and he was just not able to shoot the rest of the 20%. So like they probably just cut out some stuff from that script. Um that makes sense. But let's hope he can, you know, shoot that extra 20%. Um the Nightmare, Deathstroke, and Joker work with Ben Affleck's Batman. That would be cool to see. It's like all these people in this like post-apocalyptic world, like, have to set their differences aside to pretty much survive. But like the nightmare scene in BVS, that might be my favorite scene in that movie. It's like I just remember like watching it in the theater and just being like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like, it was just insane. It's like, what am I watching? And then you're seeing like you see the Omega symbol in the ground and just like these like flames and like shooting up from the ground. It's like, oh my god. Happy Meal. Let's see. Uses there as more of Deathstroke and Zack Snyder's Justice League. I sure hope so. I hope Zack Snyder Justice Dark Side looks like bulk and bodybuilding, also six pack. I'm sure he's gonna be massive. But here's also the thing, like, Ray Porter has been pretty vocal recently. He's been going on like live streams and stuff. How much is Darkseid in this movie? Is he just in like the history lesson sequence, like the, you know, the massive war or battle that takes place like thousands of years ago, and we see a conversation with Steppenwolf? But Zach also shared something on Vero. It was like Gal Gadot. She was like in a recording booth, like doing like her voiceover dialogue, and there was like it was like a it was like unfinished CGI of like Darkseid. Like Wonder Woman was having a conversation with Darkseid. I don't know. That's what she was staring at on the screen. So it's like I'm not sure the like what the actual scene would be, but like just from me guessing, like I would imagine she was having a conversation. Like, was he at the other end of the boom tube? She was able to like see him and talk to him. Is that kind of what was going on? But also like we know Wonder Woman chops fucking Steppenwolf's head off, and it like rolls to Darkseid's feet, like at the end of the boom tube. Eric, I've seen BVS 5 times in the theater. Man, that's awesome. I think I saw it twice, but I mean, I wasn't the hottest on BVS, like the theatrical cut. Like to me, a lot of the editing just felt jarring. I don't know. It didn't feel right. And like Henry Cavill got shortchanged in the theatrical cut. Like that extra 30 minutes, like a lot of the Clark Kent stuff, like him going out and like being a reporter and going to Gotham City and talking to, um, residents in an apartment complex about Batman, and just all that little like reporter kind of like detective work. It like it fleshed out like Clark Kent a lot more and didn't make him seem, I don't know, just so like shortchanged. Does Ray Porter have a deep speaking voice? I'm not familiar with any of his work. Oh yeah, he's got kind of like a biker like smoker's voice, like he does a lot of voiceover work, and he's been in like Sons of Anarchy and a lot of smaller roles, which is kind of a bummer that like he was shortchanged with Justice League, because like it could have been like Justice League could have been a massive break for the guy, and even somebody like Ray Fisher, like Cyborg, from what we got in the theatrical cut, Ray Fisher's my favorite part of that movie. Like he outacted everybody in that movie. He like acted circles around everybody. And I'm sure, like we've heard that like Ben Affleck was like drinking, like he relapsed during like the reshoots of Justice League, and I don't know. A lot of the actors were probably just kind of like checked out at that point. But like Ray Fisher, man, from what Zach said, he's the heart of the movie. Both in history lesson and Uxas at the end as Dark Side. All right, that's kind of what I hope. I hope it's just not that history lesson. Like we see a young Dark Side, because in what Zach has shared, the stuff with Dark Side, in the history lesson, he's replaced Steppenwolf. Like in the battle, like there's shots that what we saw in the theatrical version, that's Steppenwolf, but from what Zach shared, it's Dark Side. At least a couple of the shots where it's like all of the apocalyptic like spacecrafts or transport ships, whatever they are, they're in like the background, and we see kind of like the fiery world behind him, and it's just that like that zoom in shot where it's like Darkseid standing there with like the axe or warhammer or whatever that is. Um, in the theatrical version, that was Steppenwolf, but that's Darkseid and what he shared so far. Wonder Woman was just narrating over that Uxas history lesson scene, which you're talking about. Okay. Hopefully CGI looked best in Zack Snyder. Oh, I hope so. Like Steppenwolf, what we see in the theatrical version is just I don't think that was the definitive version. Like I think I don't know, Zach's concept art that we've seen and the sequence in uh, BVS with Steppenwolf, there's something more like alien and darker looking. And for whatever reason, they wanted to go with a more like humanoid design. But it's just, it looks like PlayStation 2 graphics. You know, it looks like a World of Warcraft like cutscene. Let's see. I love apocalypse ships in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Can we see Grail in Zack Snyder's Justice League? I'm not sure who Grail is, but maybe. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm not sure how long we've been going for at this point, but seems like a while. But almost an hour, 51 minutes. But just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I'm just at 666, the number of the beast of subscribers. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, all those sorts of things to help me out. Trying to do more, but you know, can only do what I can. But I try to do videos a couple times a week, as well as live stream either 1 or 2 times a week when I can. But anyways, guys, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.